Good morning, everybody. Let's see who's out here today. Good morning, Walleye King. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Tim. Good morning, Wally EB. Good morning, 42. Vinny, how you doing, buddy? Good morning to the Budgie Bird. Good morning to Croatian Dude. Good morning to Rocket Bob 76. Good morning to the Red Wagon. Red Wagon here. Yeehaw. Good morning, Quake. Cat. Good morning, Canuck. Good morning, Doc Rock 18. Good morning, Flutterby. Good morning to the Brain. Good morning to Snarls. Good morning to Share Bear. How are you? And Danny. Oh, Danny boy. Wakey, wakey, cupcakey. And there's Drago out there too. Good morning to everybody. It's 7:36 here on the west coast of the United States. That is, yeah. And I pray everybody's doing well. Um, 42's out there. Hey, Milkman Dooms made it in the house too. Yep. Good morning. Good morning. I do love that song. Good morning by Max Frost. Do love it. Do love that song. It's very uplifting, isn't it? Yeah, it gets you in the mood, doesn't it? Get your foot stomping and your booty jiggling. Yeah. Well, Anyway, um, and it's we've had such a wild time of it in the last I don't know, couple of days. Already today we've had two M flares. Can you believe that? And I'll tell you, ever since stuff started getting a little wiggy on me, I've had nothing but problems with my phone. They're sending me out a new phone. I got a new chip. So tomorrow, hopefully, I'll get all that resolved. It's pretty bad when you want to talk to your buddies or you have a call that you need to take or make and you can't do it. You can't do it. Nope. Wouldn't be prudent. No. Yeah. Wouldn't be prudent. Anyway, the deep state's real. Yeah. I don't have the damn Blackhawks. I got something else that's stopping me here. Oh my gosh. So I have to maintain my vigilance here on the channel. I have to stay on a lot more at the computer rather than on my phone, monitoring what's going on. Because through the day, I'm at the computer, but I'll often have my phone on, and when I'm out doing something or going somewhere, and I'll watch. I'll listen to what's going on, music wise or alert wise, with the the lack of bells, man. The planet right there looks like there's been a lot of earthquakes, eh? Eh? They're just USGS doesn't have that many. Oh no, oh no. And what you're seeing on there is let me see how many days of words. That's 1, 2, 3 days. Put it down to 1 day. Yeah. And that's double whammy, didn't at about 3.5, maybe 3.2, 3.4 you can see on there. And our planet is getting a barrage of not X-rays, but solar radiation. As I try to drink the coffee and wake my butt up. And we have a little bit of noise down here, in the armpit of South America, a couple of 4.4s. A series of 3-pointers right up in here, right there in the Cocos Plate, You can see a bunch of 3-pointers. Not a lot, but it's 3-pointers, man. It was banging last week. Bunch of 5s right down there in Salvador and Nicaragua and the like. And it's like, hey, even Mexico got a little bit into it. The chicken leg is, oh man, is it on the move, baby? Burn. Right? And then yesterday, and let me go up here, I'll show you. Let me bring that down here. So yesterday, I guess if you want to say it started down here, I don't know that it did. The Kurils and or Fiji bouncing around, Fiji had a 4-4. Oh, this is what it just said Chile. What the heck did I hit the wrong one? Oh, look at that. Yeah, boy. Anyway, here's a 5.7. Fiji region had a 5.7, a 597 depth, 600 depth, and a near 6. Yeah, that subduction zone just off the Tunga is pushing down and making I would call it the Fiji rise. Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. All right, baby. All right, here we go. Yeah. The subduction zone's out here on the right. Well, you can't even see that, dang it. Look at that. Look at that, Slim. We'll try that one. There you go. Now you can see it. All right, so the subduction zone's out here. And this is, I don't know. Why don't we just take a look real quick? Measure it. Should be about 150 to 200 miles. There we go. All right. So all these quakes are happening right out here, eh? All the way down here. We have the Kuril down here, and then we have Fiji's quakes are happening here, and then Tongas are up in here. So it might be a little more than that. See, here's one of those. The Fiji Islands, right? Part of Fiji Islands. Yeah. Baby. Let's see here. Let's do a measurement. From the trench out there, a little about 300 miles. 309. Here's the 122, right? From the trench. But look at this rise right here, right? This thing here, right? We have 30,000 feet deep right here, right? Up here, we have 2,000 feet. Then it goes back down to 3,100, 5,000 feet. Then we come back up here, 2,200 feet. Then we go back down 7,000 feet. And as it goes deep, and it's 10,000 feet deep. Yep. Then it rises up to about 9,000, and then back up to 2,000, right up in here, and then drops back down and 6,000, 7,000, 10,000. So, in my mind, which is the trending of another story. So why don't I just, go like this and say, paint. Here we go. The trending of another story. So the bottom of the ocean comes down, and then it gets a bump, goes down, a bump, goes down, bump, goes down. So we have this rise right here, and we have this rise right here. And then, of course, we have Tunga right here, and here's the ocean right here, right? So we have the trough right here, and the trough right here, and then the plateau, not plateau, but trough out there. This is like these are the bumps up, and then here's the bottom. It goes really deep right there. So this has happened. So how does this happen? In my mind, It's because the plate being pushed that direction is folding this. And you've seen this, me put this on before, right? The pizza boxes. Whether it happened that way or they happen an uplift, maybe this way. And as it's not straight up and down, it's just crunching it as this big monstrosity. Here, I'll put this like this. As this plate gets shoved down, it's pushing up here, right? And then it's breaking. Now, in some of these areas, like they call it a rift, like this one here. A rift is when, there's the thinning of the plate and magma comes up and builds a rise because the plate's thinned. So if indeed that's what's going, the depth's going like this. We got the run rise here, and then we have a little rise, and then we got a little one. I think one or two things are happening here. From what I read, this one is a stretching rift, and this is a building or a folding, breaking of the plate. Right. Let me see how to do that. Like this. And then this is just a breaking or folding upwards. And we get magma that comes up here on the islands. We get these ones up here. This is where the Hunga Tonga Happy Eye blew up. And then this one is a rift, the Fiji rift. And it's just the thinning of the plate, because all this stuff's getting shoved down. As this gets shoved down, it's pulling apart that. And as it does, this breaks I know my colors here, sorry. This breaks up right here. This breaks up right here. And this is being stretched thin. So magma is rising to the surface here, and it's rising here and rising here. So it's kind of really funky. From what we've read here, this here is a rift, and I'll show you what I mean by it. Dun, 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 dun. You can see right here. This red is a rift. It's a thinning of the ocean floor and magma rising up. Okay, comes right down the middle of New Zealand there. So if we roll this out, right down the middle of New Zealand, right. There's the trough, and there's the upwelling or the folding up, and then here's the rift right here. And the rift goes right into, the Fiji region up in here. So this is a thinning of the plate and magma rising. Probably because it's being pulled down underneath here, as well as this is being pulled down. So again, sorry about that. That's for yet further discussion. This massive plate going down, is taking this one with it. So this is flowing down, this is flowing down, and then the magma's rising up rising up, and then it's thinning over here. What color was I using? Purple. There we go. It's maybe not that thin, but it's, yeah, it's thinning out here. And as it does, magma rises up and it builds another thing. And this is the Fiji one. And this is the Kuril Islands. And this is the Tonga and Kuril. So both of these are volcanic, and this is a rift. As far as I can tell, and if you have a different idea, go ahead and put it in the chat there. The explanation this. Why do I talk about this all night? Because that's where all the action's happening, baby. I mean, how many deeps? I mean, think about it. If all the deeps are following right along here, right? Here's Fiji, right? And here's all the little islands, right? All the islands, kind of in a swirl, right? In a swirl, right? Loyalty Islands over here. This is where the Loyalty Islands are over here. Fiji's right here. Swirls down, right? This is the rift. This is the trough. This is the upwelling, and that's where the magma comes up from volcanics. This is the rift. All the way through here, goes right into New Zealand. This is a thinning of the plate being stretched apart. That's what this rise is here. Different from this one. This is the crunching of two plates and the pulling down, pulling it over the top. I would think that that's, if we looked at it. See, yeah. See, the rift is moving that direction at 44. Or this is going 44, huh? Or is that moving 44? Yeah. This is moving at 119 up here, right? The Tonga Trench. And I can't talk into another cat. And this is moving that way at 78. This is moving that way at 94. And then here's right here is where all the big Fiji quakes are happening. Right here, crazy, right next to Tonga. And half of them, they're saying, "Oh, this is." They're saying this is Tonga when it's Fiji when it's really Tonga. And it's like, hey, wait a minute, why is this thing popping so deep? And so, man, we have a compressional, we have a strike slip in here, and we have a rift, a pulling apart of the plate. So it's crazy. Yeah. Rift is spreading zones. Some eventually become oceans. Yeah. Yep. But you know, it's interesting to watch. So Fiji's this is where the rift is happening over here in Fiji. It didn't happen in Tonga. That's not where the rip is. So if we went to the interactive map, pulled back, you would see where this earthquake's happening. Here's the trench, here's the Tonga rise, and here's the Fiji. This is the rift. The rift that goes all the way into New Zealand. So the spreading zone, or the thinning of the plate and magma rising up, creating islands, it's a different way for magma to rise up out of the ocean floor. You know, it's the thinning of the plate and it rises. So this is the mechanism that's happening here. So this is why we're getting some deep, really deep earthquakes. Now, when it comes to the depth, I mean, we're talking, 500-600 depth. I mean, very rare do we ever see anything anywhere else, right? And it's always from the ocean. The ocean surface. So this could be, you know, 10,000 feet or 10,000 kilometers. And then we have another 100, 200 kilometers. Then we have 3 and 4 and 500 kilometers. And we're talking about 600 down here. What's down there? Well, how big is the mantle, right? If we're saying this is the mantle, and it's roughly 40. Oops, God, you can't read that. 40 depth from here to here. This is 600. This is like 150, right? 150. This is like 400 from here to here. And we're talking 600 down here. What is down here that's so important for all these deep earthquakes? What's happening? Well, big plumes maybe, eh? A big plume. Something's got to be happening down there. What have we learned in most of our classes? There's got to be a big plume down here that's bubbling up from the surface. That's the only thing I can see. U.S. riding propagation now. All right, bud. Gillette, Wyoming, banged a little bit. Is that what you're referring to, bud? Ancient tectonic plates, Earth's mantle. Yeah. Is Fiji a rift or just a deep subduction region? It's more than that. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. Mysterious earthquakes could be caused by ancient tectonic plates in Earth's mantle. Yeah, ancient tectonic plates. A series of mysterious earthquakes in the Pacific have puzzled scientists since the present theory seems to be offer no explanation. Yeah, that's a... let's see here. They found new tectonic plates in subduction mantle. Now, they're talking about Kieran Siglock stuff. And I'm sure Kieran is good. How they're imaging it is this stuff folding back and forth, right? And and it's not always like that. It could be like this too. The Pacific Ocean. Here would be the trough going down, and the bump of Tonga, and the next bump, and then the Fiji stuff. But with Fiji, it's a rift, so we know it's magma related. This is magma related, and this is more just a breaking of the plate. The breaking of the plate. So, because of this being brought underneath. Crunching of the plates together. So I think that's what you mean, Quake Hat, that these folding of the plates, that's why we're getting strong earthquakes down here. Whoops, sorry. Strong earthquakes down here. When these folds hit the lower boundary of the earth, and then there's another mantle, the upper mantle, the lower mantle, when they're hitting the bottom of the mantle. So I think that's what you're saying. But volcanic coming up here. We already know about those. But this is a rift. It's a pulling away of the plate. That's the current thought processes. So that's what's been going on in Fiji, and it's constant. I mean, believe it's the most busy area in the world for the big, large earthquakes. Chile had a little bump off in their subduction zone. That's, by mistake I pulled that one, but and so this is what we're looking at. These over here by Chile and Bolivia, but these are the ones here that I was talking about. See, here's the rift, the Lau Ridge, right? Here's Fiji of 5.7. Fiji's way the hell up here. Tonga's right here. And I think the reason they're calling it Fiji is because it's on the Lau Ridge. And what are they going to say this one? South of Fiji, right? Way closer to Tonga. Way closer to Kuril Islands. Or the Kermitics, sorry. So, I don't know. And then we did have the Kermitics popping up. 4.9 yesterday. And then we had a couple little bangers down here. 4.9 again. And 4.9. So 5 power coming back into the Kermitic Islands. And the Kermitic Ridge down here. And so if you have an explanation, go ahead and put in the chat why these are happening here and these are happening here and the ideas that you have. And then we had over here by that volcano that's been acting up. We had a volcano acting up right here. We had one over here, one up in here over the last couple of weeks. So this earthquake here, the depth is 200. Oh my God. 4.8. And it is what it is, but it'll get there. These darn super deep quakes. And UNS writing now writing propagation now. What do you mean, Mysterioso? Paul Collins, good morning, by the way. So I mean, I didn't see anything happening here. There's a little bump through geysers, Mammoth. I didn't see anything in Pecos, but something's prompting through, he said. Oh crap, we got another M we're having right now. Oh well. All right. We'll be discussing that here in a minute. But back to what's been happening earthquake wise. It's been really slow. The Andaman Sea popped in with a couple good ones here, a couple of 5s, 5.2 and 5.0 yesterday. This ridge of mountains starts down here, goes all the way up here, dips down in this little valley that comes right back up through Myanmar, all the way up into China. So this mountain ridge is active again. We've had a little bit more earthquakes up here. Also, this happens to be, you see the 90 East ridge right here, and it's a very weird anomaly that goes way out here, out in the middle of the Australian plate. The Australian plate goes way over here, by the way. It's huge. Yeah, it's all moving that direction. So if I open that up again, show you 90 East, right? That's the top of the Australian plate. He wants to get out there with the other kitty cats. Yeah. And anyway, so it's moving, and the 90 East is kind of a funky. It's a purple. It's compressional. That's why it's like 2 plates banging together again, right? 2 plates coming and banging together in a rise when they're compressional. And so it's rising up, right? and just breaking up is hard to do, right? 2 plates smashing together. Put 2 cookies on the 2 hot chocolate chip cookies on the gotta remember the chocolate chip cookies, right, baby? Yeah. 2 chocolate clips, cookies on the table, smoosh them together, and that's what's happening here. Compressional popping up out of the floor, right? They got the 90. This one goes this way though. So hey, they got it. And see how this goes this way. But look at this, how they got it here. They got it across this way rather than down. Hey, what's going on here? Make up my mind, will you? Yeah. Well, there's some compressional going on. Anyway, there we go. So I find this really interesting. I think it's, for me, it's a magnetic attractor here. There's supposed to be a super deep hole out here in the mid-Indian Ocean. I don't know if I have that picture available, do I? Of the Earth. No, I don't. I mean, the Earth is not round, baby, at all. It's not pretty. But there's a big giant hole down here, and I want to say there's either no magnetism or it's where a lot of magnetism is. If you remember, you can put that right out there, please, and put that in chat there. But the big giant hole that's out here in the middle of the Indian Ocean, I mean, it's massive. And that's where, some scientists believe the moon came out of. Yeah, right. Where a big asteroid hit our Earth and bounced off. I already fed him. He's calling out the cat outside.
He's bugging me in here.
I know.
You haven't fed him or something.
I did.
I just think you did.
I did. Look in the trash, you'll see the can.
What?
Look in the trash, you'll see the can.
No, he's a trash can, I'm telling you. Just...
That's what yeah.
What?
The cat right there, that's what he's yelling at about. And because you've been feeding him, he says, oh, I get to eat again.
You fed him last night.
I fed him this morning.
And you fed him last night, so he just thinks, oh boy, just be cute and I'll keep me over and over.
Well, he's going to have to shut up then. No more food. He didn't get nothing tonight. Yeah, the cat runs us. We love the cat so much. He's freaking 13 pounds. He's a big boy. And he's tall. And that little cat outside's like a little midget. And I don't know about these other domestic cats. But my cat's a giant cat. He's closer to the Maine Coon, He's got the tufts in his ears, and he's a big cat, man. And the big fangs he's got too. Watch out. He doesn't look like the lion though, like the Maine Coons. So my lady, she feeding the cat, and I fed the cat already. That's why in the morning I have to do. It's my duty. And he's he's just manipulating her now. Yeah. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, earthquakes. So the Andaman Sea's been, Andaman Ridge has been hopping. Over here in Miramar, periodically that does go off. There's some, what do you call it? Nuclear sites up in here for electricity, and not too good when you have earthquakes around there, right? Afghanistan popped a little bit here, the 4.0, and these are the newer ones. Since I went to bed, these didn't happen. I went to bed like 1:20 last night, and Turkey popped again. Now, is this related to the Great Turkey Quake down here? No. This is just movement. You can see how that line moves right up into it. Yeah. But, yeah. Very, very bad fault line that goes from there all the way across Turkey, the northern part of Turkey. They don't want that to go off. And then we've had a lot happening here near Greece, Crete, and USGS is not going to show us. And the MSC has really been no fun as of late. The Solomon Islands just happened at a 4.2, and this is Alamax. Kuril Islands up in Japan at a 4.9. SoCal, where I'm at, they had something, and they even got an event page here. Yeah, and look at that. What the hell is that, right? And it's in the Delta. So, what do we know about those? So if I go like this and open up the quick and ask the system, what kind of earthquake is that, right? And we look at this, pretty close to that one, right? Mostly strike slip. Yeah. So mostly strike slip. And look at the neighbor taking video of us. Then we say EMSC. It's not a big, powerful earthquake or nothing, but all the way over here, this is the one we're talking about. It's a 4.2 that happened last night at an island, and we've seen these happen over and over and over and over again. Here at Brawley, right? Here's the volcano right here. Yeah, it happened right next to the volcano. Here's the volcano. Here we go. Calipatria. Here's an island. I think they make the thing near the largest city and not the nearest or the furthest non-city. You know, I don't know. Brawley's the larger town. Yeah, they do what they do. I never liked their system. Yeah, let's see. There's a water there, and you zoom in. There's no water. Anyway, so right here, this is where the volcano is. This whole area. And yeah, it had a 4.2 yesterday. So it's baited on GPS. The recorders batted. What the heck? I don't understand that word batted. Ohio shook today, just as I said, midway between Davis Strait and offshore Oregon. Midway might happen, and it did. Based on the closest, strongest in signal. Okay. Based on the GPS recorders. Yeah. And in whatever the what do you have it say? Whatever the AI says, because it doesn't make sense on there at all. But hey, and it's a small thing, but it bugs the crap out of me because I'm not going to look at every dang deal, man. I'm like the USGS. I don't look at every earthquake. But today I do because there's not a whole lot. We have some here off on Morgan Hill, a little 2.5 that happened. That's on the fault up here. And we haven't said the faults in a while, have we? No, we haven't. Let's see, let me put this here. Yeah. The Calaveras fault, see that? Moving on up in the Calaveras. Are we going to start getting some more over here by Devil's Mountain? Or is it going to come into Oakland? Or is it going south? And here's another one up here by the geysers. Big volcano here. They're putting a lot of doo-doo in the ground and burning it up, making electricity. Steam. You know, hydro stuff, right? Hydrothermal stuff. And this was the quake here that happened on the 1st. It's a 4.0 off the coast. And it seems to me that 4.0 and these moved south. And we'll forget about it. Because what up here, we had a pretty good little bump. 4.7. I've seen a bigger one up here too. It's not on today's list. But yeah, it's happening. Here's the one. It moved here, Ostrovia. It moved all the way around. It seemed like that was the first time I've actually seen earthquakes move all the way around. So that was odd. And then we have this little funky odd earthquake yesterday right here in the Chinook Trough. We talked about that yesterday, late last night. If you weren't here, sorry you missed it. A few of us were discussing the different things that are happening out here, the Emperor Trough and the Chinook Trough, and why out there was it happening. The magnetic anomalies that's happening out there. It's an ancient rift. This one here, the Chinook. And it's the Chinook plate that pushed, the Kula plate underneath the Bering Sea. And then it stopped. When the Farallon was much larger, the Chinook was really small. The Pacific was out here. The Chinook was in here. The Kula was right up here, and the Farallon was small right here, and the Farallon North and the Farallon South, and according to the papers, man. And then it opened up as a rift, and then it shoved the Kula plate underneath the Bering Sea, and that happened 82 million years ago. And the last that we've seen of the Chinook plate is about 50 million years. And in some of our discussions, we're like, how do they get some of these names and numbers? And on the C4 spreading and doing all that. And it just seems sometimes that scientists are neurotic. They don't all have the same mind. They don't have the same thought processes. You have the Surveyor Rift or Fault Zone, the Mendocino Fault Zone, Pioneer Fault Zone, the Murray Fracture Fault Zone, and the Molokai Fault Zone. This little booger right here, they've drilled, for oil, and it's pretty deep, man. It's like, what are you doing? And they're down there and they drill the hell out of it, and there's a big trough. There's a big dip in there. Here's the Imperial Trough, not to say the Imperial Rise, right? Or the Imperial Seamounts, different from the Imperial Trough. But this Chinook Trough actually goes underneath. It's older, goes underneath, comes through these. This is the Hess Rise. Through this area, ends up over here in the Isuzu Trench. So they've traced this trough all the way over. And it's like, hey, there's another one right up here. I don't know, maybe they thought that was it, and it's moved north. I don't know. It looks like it was here, and now it's moved way up there. Maybe that's how it happened. I don't know. Then you get these people saying, oh, well, this is like 50, 75 million years ago. Well, what happened? What happened 50 and 75 million years ago between that frame? Well, we had the destruction of the planet, right? Well, yeah. 2 of the 3 offshore Oregon quakes happened before Davis Strait quake. Then Ohio quake hit, a third open Oregon quake. Interesting. Back and forth, they're talking to each other, right? Nice to see you, Canuck. Midway Atoll has recorders. Yes, it does. And Midway is right down in here, right there. And I think it's what picked up that Chinook. It was a little one, but you know, it's like it caught my attention. See if I can find it for you here. See if there it is. This happened last night. I'm like, hey, what's a little 2.8 out there in the middle of the ocean doing? Why a quake there? And it's like, well, they caught my attention because we don't see a lot of quakes out in the middle. So again, and it leads all the way to Japan, and it goes underneath here. And again, it's what used to be a plate, according to some of the papers I've read, that pushed the Okula underneath that were there. And then when it's done, I don't know what it do. Drop off? Didn't need to be pushed anymore. I don't know. Why did it stop being a rift? So now it's left a big hole, like the Imperial trough. You know, is it a dead subduction zone, the Imperial trough? And the Chinook trough? I don't know. But they all called them rifts, so I was like, okay. I'll do more research, trying to find out more information. I bring this up because it's different. It's not the norm. And yeah, it's only a 2.8. But it's not the norm. And it's like, why is that happening? And it gives us a chance to take a look at different things. The Jalisco and southern Texas quakes are lining up with Ohio too. Oh. Yeah, that goes across the U.S. Look at the quakes. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah. These are the 7 days, baby. If you're looking down here, you probably can't see it, but if you go up from the moon and take a look at it, definitely. Look at that line. Boing, 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 boing. Jalisco's right here, and USGS doesn't have it, of course. So here's West Texas, or southern Texas. That's West Texas out here. Usually it lines up with Hermosillo, and we did have the quake up Nye. Usually it lines up with Hermosillo, or these outside here, out in Baja. And pretty wild over here, Papua New Guinea. Yep. What did Kat say? Ohio earthquake, the Rome trough, a northeast trending graben, is that part of the Cambrian interior rift system that extends into the central Appalachians foreland basin in the eastern North America. Northeast trending graben. Well, the Rome trough. I guess Canuck can answer that one. Graben to me is like residual erosion and movement of material by the. It wasn't a question. Oh, okay. Graben's a half a rift. Is a half rift. Okay. All right, I'll let you have that one. That's interesting. Um, da, 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 da. The Graben is this area here. You got a horse, Graben, normal faults. It's the low-lying valley between the 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 horse, right? A Graben's a valley. Here's the fault scarp, surface and normal faults. Tension cracks, directional tension being spread apart. It's kind of like what's happened in the Nevada. That's what I was thinking. So when you said uh, a rift, I was like, well, I don't see it as a rift, but I know about the rift that's across the North America. So transform Horst and Graben thrust fault. It's like what happened in the Mississippi Valley. But I think it was also a part of the rift there. Thank you, Kat. Thank you for bringing that up. Learning a little bit every day, right? Let's just go right to the what's happened in the last 12 hours. Anything? Fiji went on 610. We talked about that. Bolivia 4.4. We talked about that. I don't know where the Eteria. I think that's off the coast of Chile. 4.5 Fiji again. So Fiji had a couple pretty deeps. 490. Now I have to look it up because there's two of these. No, that's okay. I'm wrong. This is in Yemen. So there's two of these in Yemen, and on our map. On our map in Yemen, right down here. So they had a pretty good quake, a 5.6 and a couple of 4.5s. And there's volcanics in here. Djibouti's got volcanics as well. All of the Earth's surface is just one long run of base in a range, base in a range. Well, I don't. Can you even? Yeah, that's an interesting idea you got. Volume of lava is down in the volcano. They think quit unless a new fissure opens up somewhere else. If you keep going northeast from Ohio, makes right up into Iceland. Yeah, the volume in that Iceland a volcano is lower, yeah. The limits make them all. They make all the Grabens. They're just not uniform, are they? Boy, I'm all over the place today. Sorry. These are 7 days looking at these earthquakes as well. Without it, we wouldn't have known where these are. What the hell just happened? All right, jeez. MSC, come on. So there's a couple of earthquakes there last night, and we're bumping up here. Sorry about the fans going, but we're already, yeah, mid 70s with about 70% humidity. So we're on the rise. The heat's coming, baby. And we're about 60% humidity right now. Carroll Islands came in at the 4.3, so we talked about that too. Keep looking to see if anything's new. Miramar China border, we saw that one. And the Carroll Islands again, 4.9 off the coast of Oregon. This is a smaller one, but we've been seeing a couple of these off the coast of Oregon. Right there on the strike slip. And the neighbor upstairs. And try that in the middle of the night. Yeah, story of my life. Off the coast of Chiapas, Mexico, had a little 4.1. Bougainville, P&G, 4.8. Let's see, where's the USGS here? Let's see if they've got a little bit of the Bougainville, P&G right here. Penguana. Yeah, right there. The Ionian Sea, Antofagasta, Chile. A couple of bangers. Chiapas had another 4. It's just not busy, everybody. And that's kind of why I bring up some of the other information. All the talk right now is about what's happening with the sun. This is spaceweather.com where we get our information. Solar wind right now is 395. The density has dropped in half to 7. So if I showed you what's going on from the Australians who monitor it as well, you'll see pressure's up a little bit. Standoff distance is about 10 to 11. Proton density was up in the teens, and it's dropped pretty good. Now, pressure keeps bouncing up. The squeezing of our magnetopause here, and when that squeezes, all the magnetic, I want to call it magnetic tension. Kind of like you put two magnets together with the same polarity and you try to push them together. It gets a little bit more difficult. Yeah, that's what's happening here. The sun has been ionizing the top of our planet and the bottom of our planet pretty impressively over the last few days. And here we are. We're going to check it out. We just now had an M1 flare. Looks like it's no, is it okay. Yeah, M1.6. So look at this. Yesterday we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 M's. Just yesterday. Today already we've had 1, 2, 3 M's. Now these little ones that are like this, you might count it. We'll go 6 hour. And it might get there. Let's see. Did it get it? Did it get it? No, it's a C9. And this is definitely an M1. So this is a C9. So 1, 2, and 3. We've already had 3 today. Here's the 1, 2, and 3. This one happened at 8:10 UTC, 10:48 2 hours later, and then 14:52 about this at about 11. So this has happened at about 15, about 4 hours. Right now it seems about every 4 hours, 2 to 4 hours, it gets popping. We had a little one here at the beginning. at 0 24 hours, it was a C7, maybe a C8. Yeah, C7. So, yeah. And you can see a little uptick. So if I showed you the 7 days, 7 days, you'll see yesterday's was a big uptick, and it was a trough, uptick, trough, little uptick, little big uptick, trough, and then booming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 M-class flares in a week. That was a good thing the radiation's dropped. KP index is up at 4 right now. And watch this little video here. This is just from the last couple hours. There's a little boomer coming at us. It's not shooting a whole lot. They were expecting to see. Here's another one. Yep. And we'll keep playing that again for you. Yeah. I'm pretty positive why my phone's not working. It's because of all these flares. And because they've got me on a system that uses high frequency. This is the sun. We'll push go. All right. I think it's right there. Bang it. I think it's spurting off little flares. It's fully active, man. Well, bright one's coming around the southern limb, it looks like. Oh, boy. So we've had a couple of M1s so far. And the active someone set your watch for 3 hours. Yeah, 2 to 4 hours, see what I'm saying? And you'll see. And this is again an M1, M2, M1, M4, M2, M1, M1, M1. And that's yesterday. Crazy. And AR 3380 is where it's happening. 3380 right here. I think it's just boing, 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 boing. And this one's got a little bit too, but not much. But this is the main one. Yeah, the CME never really transpired, and this one's here. They even corrected themselves. All right, so 1, 2, yeah, they've said, well, it just never worked. Alrighty then. So yeah, so Noah says, oh, we better correct ourselves. We'll look at the other guys. NASA, the integrated space weather analysis. Takes a little minute. They're a little bit slower. The events. Let me pull this out. Yep. They've even taken it off. Say, well, it didn't happen the way we projected it. Yeah. No CME. They miss it. It's okay. They're weathermen and women. Got to say that to be politically correct, right? Yeah. So, I mean, the impact expected to hit Earth's magnetic field August 1st may have missed. May have. They don't know. There's a hint of a near miss in solar wind data around 1600 UT, but the ripple effect was feeble and it did not cause a geometric storm. They were expecting a G1 to G2 and it just didn't transpire. And today's the other day for it. So now I'm seeing a M3 and a C7. What the hell just changed? Is this? Okay, M1s. All right. Had to update it. Density's back up to 14. Remember, it went to 7. Now it's at 14, right? There we go. Yeah, 3380, which is right down here, poses a threat for M flares. Yeah. Good stuff, Maynard. Right now, KPNX is 4, a little bit unsettled. There's been 26 fireballs across North America, which is Canada, US, and Mexico. There's no significant coronal holes to say there's going to be more wind. All the wind is coming from another way. And today, being the 2nd of August, there are 2 rocks traveling in, near our area. One is 93 feet across. It's 3 distances, Earth to the moon, multiplied by 3 away. The other one's 17 distances, but it's, 108 feet across. Any one of those that they hit the planet would make a mess of things, right? So now NOAA has upgraded their M-class predictability, saying the M-class flares will be about 55%. Class X is now up to 10. So they're going, hey. The geometric storm probability drops all the way to 20% in the mid and high latitudes of 15%. So nothing happening there. The ground magnetics, let's check this out. Hey, we've got some ground magnetics finally to tell us what's the hell going on. In this time period that we're looking at, the sun is coming out of Africa across at mid-Atlantic. So you can see from right here at this time frame right there, 1500 UT. You see a bump out here, but this is pushed way up, and it's not attracted to anything up there. It keeps flowing right here. It's moving away. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if something didn't happen in Europe or in the Atlantic region. Probability down in Sandwich Islands is lessened as well. It was larger earlier in the day, but I'm thinking the Atlantic. I'm going to be watching. What that means is this region here, to see what happens. Maybe this region here. I hate to say North America, but hey, we may get a 5 on the East Coast. Yeah. Let's see what else. Tremors. The tremors have been lessening, but they're picked up substantially now. We did have that little earthquake here off the coast of Oregon, and we got some noise down there yesterday. Just south of Olympia is where Olympia City, not the Olympic Peninsula, right? Olympia City is still vibrating rather strong. It was going less. No, it was lessening. That's the right word. Baffin Bay had a 4. Nice. That's up at the top. Yeah. And we'll have to go into the yeah, I got a ton of these things here. Let me look for Canada. Where are the Canadian? Where are the Canucks at? See the shaker, right? Yeah, Hudson Bay, Baffin Bay up here. We can take a look at it if any noise is happening. Uh, 10-minute data. These are all the seismographs in the area. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Yeah, that's... If you don't have this, I'm going to put this out for you so you can actually see the live version of what's happening up there in Canada, because you have to check those, man. Natural resources in Canada. earthquakes in Canada. Here's the last little bit of time waiting for it to. Looks like Dawson had a 4.5 on last month. There we go. There's the latest quake right there. That happened yesterday, and it's a 4.4 in the Labrador Sea. Baffin Bay is way up here. This is Labrador Sea. So I think Kat was saying something about the Great Lakes area was getting some activity, and that might be in that liniment line. And I asked her to check out Canuck. He knows those pretty well, and I think Kat does too. The one that goes through Manitoba and the Hudson Bay all the way up. Let's see. Everybody loves everybody. I love it. 78 to your house right now. 56 humidity. 78. High of 90. Current humidity 50. Yeah, no. They had some rain yesterday up there. Yeah. And Canuck. Yeah, of course. Let's see what else we got. We're talking about Canada here. All right. Saturn is visible. Neptune's visible. The full moon is happening, so it makes it a little bit harder to see these, unless you're in a dark area and the moon hasn't come up, and you won't find Uranus anytime soon. Tremors. What about the drunk Chinaman out there? Well, we definitely got a hurricane down south. All right, so we're gonna get some weather maybe. Nothing happening here. Nothing happened all the way around. We'll zoom in. Nothing happening. How about the East Coast? Nada. Well, I guess not. It's going to go out. So we definitely got another typhoon out in the Pacific. Hurricane Dora. It's definitely, I guess that's to pass the international date line for it to be a typhoon, right? So it's still a hurricane. Am I right or am I wrong? I don't know. Here's what Hurricane Central says. Dora. Yeah, it's moving out there. 105 miles an hour wind. That's pretty good. Cat 2. Definitely a hurricane. We got another one building up. Yeah, we thought this was going to, and it did. 20% chance for a cyclone starting up. We need more of these to happen for the monsoons to kick up quite a bit for us down here. We're going to go into a little bit of a heat wave, I think. I don't like it. But hey, all right. It's better than freezing my butt off. The Atlantic region, there's one little bump out there north of the Antilles. And it's a 10% chance. Yeah, there's a big low pressure out here too, but ain't nothing. If we looked at windy or Vendusky, Dora's out here. Cannon is still out here. It's going to hit shore. I don't know where it's going to hit shore. Push play. Tell me where it's going to go. Looks like it's going to hit right up in here. Huh? Shanghai. Hopefully they'll do some damage to their shipping and there's Chinese. Things always kind of work that way. If you're a bully, things kind of happen where they, life throws you a curve. West Texas northern than Gulf of Cali. You can see that line too on my app. Yes, sir, buddy. Oh, now they think it's going to go back out to sea. Okay, we're at Friday. Things going to go up to 10, and then they're going to turn it around. And was it going to go up into Japan? Is that where you're pushing it? The Chinese are going to push it into Japan. By Friday, Saturday, it's moving. Yeah. If they're playing with it. Yeah, they play with it. Yeah. COD. Let's check out COD. Planets today. All right. Let's go ahead and put it at 200 and put it on dirty. See where the weather is. It seems like a lot of weather across Iowa and Missouri into Illinois. And our boy Paducah over there. He's in a courthouse. He's in a courthouse now. He's got a little bit of rain. And push play. There you go. Look at all the monsoonal we had yesterday. It looks like Nebraska, Kansas had some, and Colorado had some. And, oh, wow. A lot in Iowa there. Oof. Yeah. That probably produced some things bad. Hopefully that dies out. It just stays weather. Monsoonal moisture down in Mexico quite a bit. And it's dissipating as it does. It seems like it picks up in the evening and then slows down during the day. I don't know how that happens. I thought heat rises, right? Let's go. I want to open up a little bit here. Yeah, let's check this out, man. Ding, 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 ding. All this noise is going away. There's this hurricane. Yeah, Central America's blowing up, but no spiral happening. Yeah, no spiral happening down here. This one, they're talking about turning it into something, maybe. There's the big low pressure that's just taking off. How about the west? Let's look at the west, baby. Let's look at the west. See what's going on out here. Low pressure off the coast. Canada. There's there's not a lot of moisture in it though. That's what's supposed to give us our rain right here. It can't draw anything out of the tropics because there's nothing there. South of Hawaii is the Hawaiian Express. Here's a low pressure, but it's got to get into this region here for us to get anything. It's a ridge of high pressure building up out here. Bummer. Let's look at the upper levels. Upper level. Here we go. Yeah, all this dry. Ugh. That means heat, baby. Yep. Heat. Yep. But it is drawing this in. Look at this. Right in there. I'm looking for El Nino to actually kick off, and everybody who's a professional out there is saying we don't know where it is. It's an awfully weak one right now. And the reason I want El Nino because the monsoons and the rain that the West needs desperately. You hear about all the videos I watch. Yeah, about the people who live in the other part of the United States, they're all whining about, it's hot here. And then all the rain came in and we're in a drought. How can you be in a friggin' drought when you as much rain as you get? We don't get any rain. Oh yeah, this was bad. Man, those were upper levels too. Big storms. I pray everybody made it through. Oklahoma's been pretty good lately, so here's the big low right here. Over. Oh boy. Oops, sorry about that. I banged it. Yeah. Few holes in the wall, put shelves up, and stood on a desk chair. Whee! Did you fall? Don't fall, please. Yeah. What else we have? We can look at the volcano universe. Uh-oh. All right. Well, that didn't work. We'll look at this one. Volcano discovery in the news today, August 2, 2023. Fuego, Popo, Simiru, Tocono, Rick James, Mayan, Ubinas, and Sabancaya. Tocono volcano over there by Halamarahara, 7,000. It's a 3,800 foot or 4,200 foot. Am I right? 3,800 foot, yeah. So it's a good little popper for them. Like, right? Halamarahara. Ibu, right? Volcanoes here. And this is that strait that everybody is, earthquakes are going through it like crazy. Got a little bump here, 3.8 in the Hawaiian Ocean. Wow. Well, the other side of the rift, huh? Wow. And there you go. Here's the rift right here. This one happened out in the ocean. All right. Anyhow, but he was referring to Halamarahara. Is how I say it. Okay, you can say it a different way. How do I say it? Halmarahara. I call it Halamarahara. Halamara. I got an R in there. Hara. Hera. Halmarahara. Halmahera. Halamarahara. I had another 2 syllables in there. That's how I say it, baby. Don't worry about it. Yeah, the volcanoes are here and here. This is that trough, the Molucca Sea. So busy. So busy for earthquakes. And Tocono and Ibu are telling us they're busy. Ubinas, isolated strong puff. All right. Ubinas is down here. Here's Sabancaya is up here. Ubinas is just right in here. They're right down here. And do I have it here? All right. Let me see. The volcanoes of the world. We'll come down here. Sabancaya is right here. Ubinas is right over here. Okay. So you know where they're at. Look for the big lake, and they're just north of or northwest of the lake. Northwest of the lake, right in here. And okay. Popo in Mexico, 19 is 17.8. That's just a puff. Simiru, continuous to 15,000 now. That's a little bit. That's 1,000 feet more than normal, and it just could be because of the weather allowing it to not, clip it. It's a 12,000 foot mountain. Basically goes from the ocean straight up in the air, 12,000 feet. Sabancaya volcano continues to 23. It's a 19,000 foot mountain. Again, that's right here, right next to your Venus. Fuego Not detected. Fuego's been like way less. Usually about every 20 minutes it pops, and it just hasn't. Here's the flow map, right? Here's the volcano. It's flowing over the top of the other two eruptions, and it's I guess down here is lower and this is up higher. Interesting. The 2023 eruption, the 22 eruption, and the 21 eruption. So very, very, very interesting, to say the least. It seems to that summertime seems to happen. You know, it's just weird. It really, really friggin' is. Is it going to get to the ocean like some people fear? I don't think it will. It's got to go a long way to the ocean. The last one, they almost made it. They were putting up over the roads where they were putting up barriers, trying to make it stop. You know. All right. Yeah, and Mayan volcano over there in the Philippines, which has been erupting, and the top of it is like completely lit up. It's like if it just melted a little more, something big would happen. Yeah, I'll show you where Mayan is. Yeah, in the Philippines over here. I think it's right up in here, right? Maybe not. What happened? Didn't I go far enough? Hey, where are you? There it is. Right there. I knew I was in the right area. Like, hey, wait a minute, where'd it go? I saw this Masaraga. Like, wait, what? Man, there it was over here. All right. Yeah, it's right there, and that thing's erupting. The visuals on it are pretty incredible in the evenings. Maybe this evening we'll try to take a look at it. Pretty far out. Let me see. They have another picture I'll show you here. Yeah, check it out. Come on. I want to see the picture. See it. Yeah. Parts of the top plug has broken off, and it just goes boom, boom, boom all the way down the face in some of the video. It's been pretty cool. Like, here, let me show you here. Like, part of it just broke off, and it's falling down the hill. It's like magma's coming out the top, but it's really the rock plug up here is getting so hot, the rocks melt, and when they do, they just lose their ability to stay together, and then they fall apart, and that's what that was, and this one was. The magma's, the whole top's glowing. So, and that's over there with X. You know, Twitter has changed its name, right? They're not Twitters anymore. So, just wanted you to know that. Ubina's volcano went 35,000 feet. Okay, now that's a bigger shite. That's a bigger pop. 35,000 feet. So back to Urbinus. That's the biggest pop we've had yet in a minute. Right over here. Urbinus right here. It's a stratovolcano. 5,600. It's like 18,000 feet. 35,000 foot pop out of that one. Wow. Semenkaya. 59. Yeah, it's 18,000 Urbanus. I hate this one. I can't widen it. It's a small 1 kilometer wide caldera at the top. Peru's most active volcano, gives a truncated appearance. Ubinus is the northernmost of 3 young volcanoes located along a regional structural lineament about 50 kilometers behind the main volcano front of Peru. The upper slopes of the stratovolcano composed primarily of Pleistocene andesitic lava flows steepened to nearly 45 degrees. The steep walled 150 meter deep summit caldera contains an ash cone with 50 or 500 meter wide funnel shaped vent that is 200 meters deep. The funnel shaped vent that is 200 meters deep. Yeah, I already said that. Why did it tell me again? Debris avalanche deposits from the collapse of the southeast flank of Urbanus extends about 10 kilometers from the volcano. Widespread Plinian pumice fall deposits from the Urbanus include some of the Holocene age. Holocene lava flows are visible in the volcano's flanks, but historical activity documented since the 16th century has consisted of intermittent minor explosive eruptions. Sorry, so Urbanus, right? So this thing, 35,000 feet. You can see this is a pretty good explosion out the top, right? Right, and here's still got all this, so maybe it's clearing his throat. Right? Cough. All right, wow. 35,000 feet. That's a pretty good little popper. Simiru volcano, 15. That's where we were going, right? Yeah. Over here, Indonesia. Look for Bali. You know where Bali is, right? Bali's right here. Look at this first armpit, and you'll find Simiru. It's 12,000 from here to there. It isn't very far, but it's straight the freak up. 15,000 feet. 3,000 foot popper out of it. Dacono, 7,000. We already talked about it, and that's it for volcanoes. As we see what's going across the U.S., sister's out here, so you got to take a look at what's happening in her part of the world. Where's England? There we go. She has a low pressure off the coast, so that's what's keeping her cool, 60 degrees. Yeah. And I want to say that, yeah, they got 20 mile an hour winds, so yeah, pretty good. No thunderstorms. %70 humidity. Woo-wee. Dora, Explorer Dora. Yep. Funny how that happens, huh? We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Well, everybody, is there anything else I can bring up here? Our parrot's upset. He likes to Twitter tweet. Rain, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, ma'am. Denise, I hadn't had a chance to get to your post on Facebook because my phone's been down for the last couple of days, so I'll have to do it through this setup. Just thought I'd let you know. Yeah. Rock and roll, everybody. Remember, don't get none on you, and try not to step in the doo-doo of life. And don't take everything to heart. We need you around. We don't need you stressed out. Appreciate you all. Thank you for your support, and financially, and also in the chat. Makes it a lot of fun. There's some bunnies flying up there. Yeah, we'll have to see where Canuck is and his desire for rabbit hole, but we may end up doing a rabbit hole. What is today? Tuesday. We may do one tomorrow. Ugh. Yeah. Big hugs, y'all. Remember. Remember. Don't get none on you. I'm Joe Slick, and I'm out. Hang tight, everybody.